If you ever find a highway rest area with every clock showing the same time, leave immediately. If you've ever driven alone at night, you've probably stopped at a lonely rest area without thinking twice. I won't do that anymore, because one stop changed the way I look at every empty highway. 5 years ago, I was driving across a mountain highway after a long business trip. It was late autumn, cold rain. No traffic, just endless road disappearing into darkness. I had been awake for almost 16 hours. Coffee wasn't helping anymore. Every blink lasted a little longer than the last. Then I saw a sign. Rest area. 1 mile perfect. I pulled in. The parking lot was almost empty. 3 cars, 1 delivery van, a vending machine glowing beneath a flickering light. Everything looked completely normal. Almost. As soon as I stepped out, I noticed something strange. Every sound felt muted. The rain wasn't hitting the roof loudly anymore. Even my footsteps sounded distant, like someone had wrapped the entire place in thick blankets. I blamed exhaustion. Inside the small building were clean bathrooms, a few vending machines, and an old wall clock. It read exactly 2:17 a.m. I bought a bottle of water. The machine accepted my money without making a sound. No clunk, no motor, nothing. The bottle simply appeared. That bothered me more than it should have. When I walked back outside, I glanced toward the parking lot. Every vehicle was exactly where I'd seen it before. Not unusual, except none of them had any fog on their windows on a freezing night. That made no sense. Then I noticed something else. The delivery van. Its headlights were off. Its engine was off. But someone was sitting behind the steering wheel, not moving, not looking down, just staring straight ahead. I couldn't make out the face, only a silhouette. I looked away. No reason to be paranoid. I got back into my car, locked the doors, and decided to rest for 20 minutes. I never fell asleep, because exactly 3 minutes later, a gentle knock came from my passenger window. Tap, tap, tap. I turned. Nobody. The parking lot was empty. I checked every mirror. Nothing. I told myself a tree branch had hit the glass, except there weren't any trees close enough. Another tap. This time from the rear window, then another. From the driver's side. Never louder than 3 knocks. Always moving. Always just out of sight. I started the engine. Instantly. The dashboard clock lit up. 2:17 a.m. I frowned. My phone also showed 2:17. Strange. I could have sworn I'd been parked for at least 20 minutes. Maybe more. I pulled out of the parking space. The exit road curved toward the highway. But after 30 seconds, I was back. In the same parking lot. Same vending machine. Same delivery van. Same 3 cars. I hadn't turned around. I was certain of it. I laughed nervously. Wrong road. So I tried again. Slower this time, watching every sign, every curve, every reflector. 1 minute later, the same parking lot appeared again. Exactly the same. Even my own tire tracks were still wet on the pavement. That's when my hands started shaking. Someone knocked again. 3 slow taps. This time, from inside the trunk. I didn't get out. I didn't even breathe. Instead, I locked every door again, as if that would help. Then my radio turned on by itself. Only static. Until a calm voice whispered, "Wrong exit." Then silence. I slammed the radio off. The battery indicator suddenly dropped to 0. The headlights dimmed, then returned to normal. I looked toward the delivery van again. The driver's seat was empty. A cold feeling settled over me. Where had that person gone? I searched the parking lot. Nothing. No footsteps. No movement. Just rain. Then I saw someone standing beside the vending machine, an older man wearing a reflective highway jacket. He raised one finger, not to wave, to point, toward a narrow service road behind the building. He never spoke, just pointed. For a few seconds, I debated whether this was real, but every instinct told me, don't ignore him. I drove toward the narrow road. There wasn't even a sign, just cracked pavement leading into darkness. After about 200 yards, the road crossed an old maintenance bridge. The moment my tires touched the bridge, my dashboard clock changed. 3:06 a.m. My phone buzzed. Signal returned. The rain sounded normal again. And suddenly, cars appeared on the highway. Real traffic, real life. I looked in the mirror. The rest area was gone. There was only a locked maintenance gate behind me. No parking lot, no vending machines, nothing. The next morning, curiosity won. I stopped at the nearest highway office. I asked if there had ever been a rest area near that maintenance bridge. The employee looked confused. He checked an old highway map, then nodded slowly. There used to be one. It closed years ago after repeated driver complaints. I asked why. He hesitated, then said something I'll never forget. They all reported the same thing. I asked, what thing? He answered quietly. Every clock stayed at 2:17. I drove back once during daylight, just to prove to myself it had all been exhaustion. There was no rest area, only an overgrown concrete